All right. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back. It's me again, Slayer, and I'm back with another RLCS review. I know I missed the last one, and I am aware of that, and I'm going to be making comments about the last one. I know I missed the last one. It was all timing. I legit spaced out for that week, so I did watch it, but I didn't really trying to make a video on it. So I apologize for that. But I am back. We are here with Qualifier 5. If you don't know this series, it's basically a series where I look into excuse me. I look at RLCS, I look at the qualifiers and see what is going on, see who wins, and I give my review on it. I think I am knowledgeable enough about RLCS. I've been watching RLCS for a really long time, and I think I can give me some comments about it and give my insights on it. So if you agree with me, cool. If you don't agree, that's completely fine. Let me know your opinions down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this qualifier 5. Who's the best? Who's the worst? Who's surprising? Who's the most disappointing? Yeah. I want to make this video as short as possible. I'll keep it around 17 to 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go quick with these matches, try to get my thoughts on it, and yeah. If you guys enjoy this, please subscribe, leave a like. Let me know that you want me to do this again, and I'll be back for next week's as well. I'm only doing NA because I am not knowledgeable enough in EU. I don't know a lot about EU, so it wouldn't feel right for me to have a say in EU when I really don't watch it. I do watch it a bit, but enough to have an opinion. It's not something I feel comfortable with. So yeah, let's just get into it. All right, and before I get into it, I do want to talk about last qualifier. The team that surprised me was obviously Snowman. Dude, Snowman was really good. I really like Snowman. Um, what's Snowman's team again? Hold on, let me check that list. So Snowman's team is Scribbles, Reveal, and Frosty. Wow, this team surprised me. This team did. I didn't think they were gonna do what I didn't think that they were gonna do this. I didn't think that they were gonna actually come out last qualifier. I'm pretty sure they went perfect. Yeah, they went 3-0. They're beating out TSM, and I didn't even know that team. What is it called? Netherlands, America, Canada. I don't even know. And Genji beating Genji is huge for Snowman. This team that just came on the scene, beating out Genji, going 3-0 perfect, and beating Cloud9 to go into to a top 4 finish. Yes, they lose to Genji, but they played a good game against Genji. The only reason that they didn't get to the finals was because it was Genji. So yeah, big tips out to Snowman. Big from Snowman. Cloud9 on the other hand, kind of disappointed me the last qualifier. They picked up Omelette. They picked up Omelette team consisting of Zanil, Percy, and Lion Blaze. I did make some comments about it in an earlier video about Cloud9, but I really think this is a good pickup. This is a low pickup for Cloud9, such a big org picking up such a low team. They're probably not paying them as much, and Cloud9 probably not focused as much on Rocket League, but they still want to be active in the scene. So I feel like this is a really good pickup from Cloud9. I really have high expectations for this team. I think this team are going to do well. Yeah. And I also want to mention Energy. Now, the thing about Energy is I don't know what's wrong. I genuinely do not know what's wrong. I feel bad for Gary because this guy has been to every single tournament up to like a few months ago. This guy is consistent as hell. You want Gary on your team, but if you give him Mist, and I don't even know who the third man is. Who's the third man on Energy? Let me check that real quick. You have Aqua. They went through like Aqua twice. Then they had another guy. So this just I think it's just too much conflicting in this roster. But what I think the main thing about Energy is that they have two conflicting players, that being Garrett and Mist. They're both kind of the same exact player when it comes to playstyles. They play more defensive, they play more calm, and they're leaving Aqua, who's basically a rookie, who's basically someone who's legit. This is his first time stepping waters in Pro Rocket League scene, RLCS, and you're giving him NRG, such a big and historic org, to attack by himself. It's not the best for Energy. So I genuinely don't know. Out of the 5 cloud qualifiers that we have gotten, yes, they've gotten into every single Swiss, but they don't get out of Swiss. They don't make it out of Swiss. They go into Swiss and then they get 0-3 or 1-3. I haven't seen them get a 2-3 unless I'm fading out on the score lines. But they're losing a lot. They're losing way too much. It should be. I don't know what's wrong with the team. I don't like this team right now. I think this team should change it up. Get rid of Mist. Get rid of Mist. Get rid of Mist. Keep Aqua and get another offensive player. Another player that can play both offense and defense. Because Aqua's your main guy. If Aqua's not having a good game, this team is not scoring any goals. Even on the defensive, Garrett and Mist aren't enough to stop the goals. So like, what is wrong with this roster? What is wrong with it? I genuinely do not know what this roster is going to do in the future, but I hopefully something good. They have such a good coach in Fireburner. historic player for Energy, and I really think he's a good coach. But it just come down to results. They can't get results. But yeah, but that's all I wanted to say before. And I don't really have anything to say about the second um qualifier apart from Snowman didn't qualify, Energy didn't qualify, Luminosity didn't qualify. But yeah, and everything else I will say in the matches. All right, so we started today on Saturday with SSG Dignitas. SSG, a team comprised of LJ Hawks in Chicago, facing off Dignitas, a team comprised of Arsenal, Stizzy, and Gyro. I the game was good. They both kind of played the same play styles. I really like SSG. I really like how they play. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure Hoxer player had a really good series, and Dignitas were almost there. Dignitas was it was this close for Dignitas. This is huge for Dignitas. This is massive for Dignitas because qualify for I think they even qualified for they didn't even qualify for Swiss. So you go from not qualifying to Swiss to now in the quarterfinals against SSG and taking them to a game 7. They almost had them, dude. Like, and these were like close games. Game 1 going 3-1, game 2 2-1, 3-2, 2-0, 2-1, 1-0. It was either a 1 or 2 goal difference. But yeah, Dignitas couldn't close it out. They had Dignitas like they were trying. SSG couldn't close it out, and Dignitas came back, and they had to go to Champions Field where they just couldn't ice up. But this is good for Dignitas. Although they lost, this is good for Dignitas. I think this roster is good. I think bringing in Arsenal was a good idea. I love Arsenal. Arsenal's a really good player, and I feel like he has a lot to bring to the table on this team. But it's just that last push, that last little push that SSG that Dignitas need. I really like this roster. On the other hand, SSG had got first in Swiss. They're beating out Energy, beating out TSM, and beating out Luminosity. But you could argue that those 3 teams are top teams. The only top team there I would consider is Luminosity. They can have a run, but I don't consider Energy a top team. I don't consider TSM a top team. On the other hand, Dignitas getting 8th, beating out. I don't even know who that was. Who did they beat out? They beat out Spate Esports. I don't even know. Beat out Space, Energy, and TSM, bottom tier clubs, and lost to OG, which is a top club, and Snowman, who is a rising team. So this is good for Dignitas, beating out the beating out the bad teams, losing to the good team, and coming out and putting a series against the good team. I really like this Dignitas roster. I think Dignitas I think Dignitas is a good team. They have a good future. So I like Arsenal. Stizzy, I went into a stream last night, and I don't know if I like what I saw from Stizzy, but in Gyro, I think Gyro's really good. Violet Panda, historic player, really, really good player. When he played for Dignitas and he won a championship, I feel like they got the coach that they need. I feel like they have the roster that they need. It's just a matter of what day they're playing on. They're having a good day or a bad day. Space Station will always be a top team, will always be a top contender. Chicago, Historic, and G2, Hoxer and LJ, 2 really good players. I really like LJ. I think LJ is the main man in this roster. And coach, I really like their coach too, Sad Jr. Sad Jr. pretty sure was with G2 for a while, and he had a really good run there. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. I really really like this roster from both of these teams. But when it came down to ice and SSG has more experience, these players are more experienced in in a game 7. Mostly because of Chicago. Chicago has been really good with G2 before the guy dropped on his neck. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he played a grand final as well for Vitality. I'm pretty sure he was there if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I really like both of these rosters. These are 1 goal game differences. It legit, Dignitas could be SSG any other day, or SSG could beat Dignitas any other day. It's legit in terms of who gets the better rebounds, who gets the luckier goals, and who was playing out better. But we could have easily seen Dignitas be SSG. I think if Dignitas keep on this run they're having, they could easily qualify for a semifinal. But we did see them with the space station, as in Swiss. We did see them be lower tier team, so I want to see them face like an M80, like a G2 or Gen G, to see if they really have the potential to be contenders for a qualifier championship. But that's all I gotta say about this. 2 really promising rosters. Really like these 2 teams. But I guess SSG just came out hotter, came out better than Dignitas. But Dignitas could have easily beat SSG any other day. And then on Saturday again, we had our second match of the day. We had OG beating Gen G 4-2, and oh my god, this was an upset and a half. And what did I say? If you watch my earlier back, I said this roster when it first started was not good. This roster was not good. But time will tell. I tell this, give this team time and they can beat the top teams. And here they did. Um although it was close, the first game going 2-1, then 2-1, then 2-1, then 2-1, then 3-2, and then 1. All 1 goal differences. Gen G should have won this game. I think Gen G should have won this game. I think Gen G could have easily beat OG, but OG came out hot. They came out hotter. I don't know what it was. I don't know if these 3 players in apparently Jack Chronic and First Killer just didn't come out as hot, or it could be the opposite. Noli, JNAPS, and Con just came out really, really hot. JNAPS had a great series. And I told you guys, give this team some time, and this OG team can be a top team, can be a top team, and be a top team. And this, I feel like this is what they showed. There's some really good goals scored. I did record this a few days later, so I'm fading out on the goals and who played a good series or not. But I really like this OG team, and that's what I said. Give this team some time. This team will triumph, and this team will be good, and they beat out Gen G. And for Gen G, this is unacceptable. For Gen G, losing out in the quarterfinals after going 3-1 in the Swiss, beating OG in the second round of Swiss, you can't be having that for Gen G. How are you gonna be you can beat them in Swiss, sure, whatever, but if you can't beat them in the playoffs, then it's a whole different story. I don't know if it was they beat them 3-1. I'm pretty sure it was convincingly too. Hold up, I can check that for you. Round 2 matches, you had, there you go. You slammed them. It was a 4-1 in the first match, 3-0, and then OG took a 4-0, and then it was a 3-1. These were all slammings from Gen G, and you tell me you can't do the same? You can't go out in playoffs and actually do the same thing? So yeah, I think I said OG top team, and I'm still gonna abide by that. I'm still gonna abide by Gen G. I mean, OG is a good team, is a top team. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And the way Gen G got eliminated was not something I expected. I did not expect Gen G to get eliminated. After OG took the first game, I wrote some like what ifs, but Gen G took the second game. I'm like, yeah, this guy OG had their moments. But then OG took another game, and then Gen G took another game, so it was 2-2. And then OG takes 2 games, 2 OTs. You telling me Gen G can't ice up in an OT? The first OT going almost 4 minutes, and again game 6 went on 117. I don't know. I think this is a fluke from Gen G. I think Gen G are a really good team still. I don't think they're gonna do anything. I don't think they're probably gonna look at it for a few days, then probably just forget about it, look for the next one. Because I'm pretty sure Gen G's already qualified to Worlds, and or almost there, because they won like 2-3 qualifiers already. So it's them and G2 now. They're fighting for that. They're fighting for that 3rd and 4th spots for Worlds. And if I can predict right now, it could be OG. I'm taking OG, and probably if I could probably if they like ice up by SSG, I'm picking OG and SSG for Worlds. But I don't think Gen G should be too worried about this result. But again, I don't know what happened with Gen G. They just came out really slow. They just came out really slow with that game, and it's unacceptable for Gen G. But there's nothing more they could do. Only look at a few replays, VODs, and hopefully this doesn't happen again. You can't be beating them in the Swiss and then losing them in the quarterfinals. But yeah, that's all I gotta say for this match. And yeah, now for the third match, we had M80 versus Cloud9, and we had 2 records here. We had two records, bad records. M80, this is the 5th qualifier they get good in Swiss, but the 5th quarterfinal they lose. They cannot play on Saturday. They love playing on Fridays. They can't play on Saturday. They've lost every single, and I'm double checking that for you as well. Hold on, give me a second. I'm double checking that for you. So in North America, qualifier 1. So the first qualifier, they lost to Shopify Rebellion, quarterfinals. Qualifier 2, they lost to OG, quarterfinals. Okay. Qualifier 3, they lost to TSM, game 7, quarterfinals. Last major or last qualifier, qualifier 4, they lost to G2 for finals. And this one, they lost to Cloud9 qualifier. What is going on with OG in that M80? And I like this M80 roster too. This team is so offensive, and they have two really, really good offensive players. AJ, arguably one of the best ones player in the world, and Jorius, who's really good at Dignitas, who was a rising star in Dignitas. These two players are just shots on target, shots on target, and they couldn't convert. They can't convert. They can't. And Nas is more of a midfield player, and the games that M81 they dominated 3-1 in game 2 and 7-0 in game 3. They win 7-0 and C9 took a timeout. Okay, a minute timeout. I'm pretty sure it was extended timeout. And then you lose the next game? How are you going to win 7-0 so dominantly and then lose 2-1 the very next game? This isn't a timeout buff for C9. This is more than a timeout buff. Yes, C9 took the time, talked, and played better, but this is that fall of M82. This isn't just a timeout buff. This is a fluke from M80 winning 7-0, then allowing a timeout to legit reverse that and lose 2-1 the very next series, and lose 2-1 at the very next series after that. Then you take the timeout, and then you lose 3-0 to end the series. This is unacceptable from M80. I don't know what they're gonna do. I've recommended a roster change, but at this point, I think it's too late for a roster change since like you're not gonna qualify for Worlds. You're nowhere near Worlds if you're gonna lose to playoffs quarterfinals every single time. I tip them for doing really good in Swiss. I'm pretty sure every Swiss they've gone positive. They went 3-0 this time, beating out Cloud9, G2, and Gen G. You beat out the top 2 teams in the region coming in. You face Cloud9, you beat them 3-2 first round. Then second round you face G2, you beat them 3-2 in a good series. And third round you beat Gen G 3-0. Coming in hot from these 2 top team victories, and you come in to playoffs to lose to Cloud9 when you beat previously in Swiss. On the other hand, Cloud9 really bounced back. I really like this bounce back from Cloud9. Losing to Snowman last qualifier, which when Snowman had no expectations, that was even calling that Cloud9 made a mistake picking up Omelet, instead of Snowman. I thought they should have picked up Snowman because from what I saw from that series. But no, they bounced back. I'm pretty sure Zenio had a really good series. Zenio had a good series and Percy had a good series. It was a bit quiet from Lion Blitz that series, but those 2 players are really good. And these guys are, I'm pretty sure, the IRL friends. So it just makes this whole team chemistry really, really well. Cloud9, they're so smooth with their passes, their chemistry. I assume comms are going really, really well to beat out M80 just like this. I really like it. I'm really liking this Cloud9 roster. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoy watching it. As I mentioned, these guys are IRL friends. Just the way they play, you could tell from the way these 3 are playing that they know each other left, right, and center. They throw a ball. We know Percy's at the end of the other side of the field, ready to get that ball. Passes it to Lion Blaze, passes it to Zenil, Percy. All these 3 players played phenomenal. I love these 3 players. Their chemistry is so fluid, so consistent. This is a consistent team, and I really like this roster. But as for M80, this is disappointing from M80. They should be able to get to semifinals, but beating a new team like Cloud9, just basically showing you out. And I don't know what's gonna happen with this M80 roster. They're not touching Worlds. Hopefully, they can touch this London Major next. And a final match of the Saturday, we had G2 versus Shopify Rebellion. I'm going quick. 4-0. Legit like 4-0. What else is there to say? G2 came out G2 style and won. But I will say Shopify Rebellion scored in almost every first match. Until like the last match, until game 4. I'm pretty sure G2 scored first, but nothing more. Shopify Rebellion, ass. It's just in 2 more. Ass. Just ass. Nothing more. Ass. G2, just too good. Ass. Shopify, ass. G2 came out, G2 style. Nothing more to say. What do you want me to say? G2 came out, did what they had to do, 4-0'd them, slammed them, and that's it. Shopify needs to bounce back. Inexcusable for Shopify. They need to bounce back. Again, I'm pretty sure they did really good in Swiss too. They beat out small teams. They beat out Energy, Moist, and Snowman. Well, Snowman not a small team, but Nothing more to say. G2 came out. G2 won. Shopify came out. They lost. So nothing more. It's kind of those quick series. Kind of what you expected from G2. What you expected from Shopify. Shopify playing bad. G2 playing really well. Really good, but nothing more to say. Now we have our. Now we move on to Sunday. Hold on. Talking a lot. We move on to Sunday, in which we have SSG versus OG. Again, man, SSG, really, really good roster, beating them comfortably every game SSG won, but OG did beat them comfortably every time they won. This was a real test for OG to see if they can hang around with the big teams, even though they beat out Gen G. This is a good test for OG to see where they can hang, and they cannot hang with SSG. SSG, I mean, they beat them. I'm pretty sure LG had a good series that match, and I really, I really have expectations for these two teams. Nothing more. I mean, if I keep talking, I'm just gonna repeat myself. I think SSG they dominated them 4-0 in the first match they won, 5-1 in the third match they won, um, 3-1 in the what was it, the first, second, third, fourth, fifth match they won, and the sixth match beat them 5-1. So it was dominating from SSG. OG just cannot handle their offense, and OG's defense just fell apart on this. SG scoring way too many goals. Um, but they did bring them to overtime once, and they beat them in overtime. So we can assume that OG is really good in overtime. Beating them twice versus NG. So we could say OG is icy like that. But you kind of expect it because you do have JNaps, a legend. Some would say in G2, a really good player, probably one of the best players without winning a championship. I do not count that Season X COVID one. I don't know. I don't know what happened with that championship. I don't know if they had one or was it online. But G2 did win that, but I don't really count that. So Gina is probably the best player without a ring, and they do have Noli. Noli's a really good player. Noli's a good controlling player. Like, he controls the game. Same thing with Calm. Calm goes for demos. Really aggressive player, gets in your face, and a coaching tournament. This team is well rounded, and but they couldn't hang with the SSG guys. They couldn't hang with them. So I really both these rosters are really good. It's just whoever came out playing better that day, and it was SSG who came out playing better. So these two teams are really good. The SSG onto the finals. This is good for SSG to beat OG and Dignitas, two teams that aren't at the top level, but aren't teams you should be underestimating. There's two mid-table teams. To hopefully try to get that momentum back, because they have been facing Gen G a lot, and it's obvious that they can't hang with Gen G. So yeah, it was good for SSG beating the mid-table teams. See where you land. See where you're supposed to be, because we haven't really been seeing that since they've legit been facing Gen G this entire split and last split. So good for the team. OG, same thing. OG trying to figure out where they belong, where they can hang. If they have a good day, what does it look like? If they have a bad day, what does it look like? Who do players fall on? But remember, JNF's having a really good series this series. But yeah, another more I could say, these two really good teams, and yeah. And now for the second match of the day, hold on. Second match of the day is Cloud9 versus G2, and wow, this was a surprising series. Cloud9, what happened? What happened to Cloud9? Cloud9 almost beat G2 in a surprising fashion. In a really, really surprising fashion. I remember Atomic had the series of his life. Atomic had a really, really good series. What happened to Cloud9 though? You lose the first match. Okay, you expect this because G2, they come out hot. You're looking like the heavy favorites, but you take 3 matches in a row to almost close out the series. You beat them in overtime. Then you beat them 3-2. Then you beat them 1-0. And then the timeout comes out for G2. And that timeout buff went iffy with this team. Percy, Lion Blaze, and Zenil were having the series of their lives. Probably the best series I've seen. Better than M80 and better than Snowman last qualifier. This team was really good. This team was nice with it. But this just shows the seniority and the experience this G2 team has with Atomic, Daniel, and Beast Mode. They kept icy. They told themselves they could do it, and they did it. Brought them to a game 5, beat Cloud9 in 2 overtimes, 2 opportunities for Cloud9 to close this series, but they just couldn't. Daniel and Beast Mode were having quiet series until and they let Atomic shine. And Atomic shined. Atomic shined more than anyone in that series. Obviously, in the first 3 matches, G2 weren't looking the best. Percy and Zanilo were doing their thing. They were doing really well. They're having a good series, taking shots on target, scoring goals. But when it came to those last 3 series, Atomic just turned on the Jets, and Atomic turned on the right Jets. They turned on. It was a good series. It was a really good series, a close series actually. And this just shows how experienced Atomic is, how experienced Daniel is, and how experienced Beast Mode is. Beast Mode and Daniel winning Gamers 8 last year, or a few months ago. I forgot when it was. Is legit the last game of Optic. I forgot what the date was, that one. But Atomic took over the series. Atomic took that role that Daniel and Beast Mode normally take and took it for themselves, and it worked. They iced up. They took it to Champions Field, and they dominated in Champions Field, winning 3-1. I really like these two. This Cloud9 roster is up for the future. This Cloud9 roster again. I'm gonna say the same thing as I said to OG. Give this team time, and they're gonna be beating the top teams. I'm calling it right now. Give this C9 roster time, and there's not much time left. We have 2 more qualifiers in the major, and I doubt Cloud9 will qualify for the major. Give this team time. Next season, they're gonna be a different Cloud9. If they don't make any changes, they're gonna be a different Cloud9. Now, if they do make changes, that's a bit risky because you can make changes for the good and make changes for the bad. I don't think if they drop one, they drop all. If they drop, because this team has so much chemistry and they showed it this series, if they drop either Zanil, Percy, or Lion Blaze, the team falls apart. Because this team is so well built together that they don't even need a coach. I don't think they have a coach. Do they have a coach? No. Oh, they do have Diddy. I don't even know who that is. This team is so well built, and if they drop one, it's kind of like dropping all. It ruins the team's morale. It ruins the team's chemistry. So if they drop one, I don't think this team will work if they drop anyone. So I don't think they're going to drop anyone. I hope they don't. But give this team time, and I think this team will triumph and will be able to compete as they did on Sunday. So yeah, that's all I got to say. G2 came out, iced up, and Cloud9, they had 2 chances to close it out in 2 overtimes, but they couldn't. So give this team time, and this team will triumph, and this team will become the best that they can be, beating out these top teams like G2, like the G2s, like the Gen Gs, like the M80s, like the Space Stations. So give this team time, and the team's gonna be different. And now we go on to the finals. We go on to the final of RLCS Qualifier 5, which is Space Station versus G2 Stride. Thank God. Thank you for not having G2 versus Gen G in the finals. That got boring quickly as fuck, bro. Hold on. Thank you. G2 won. What a surprise. What a surprise. Are we surprised? Are you surprised? I'm not. Are you surprised? Because, bro, why? Space Station, please. 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 And this is another reason showing that this qualifier for Space Station was where they could hang. They could hang with the Dignitas. They could hang with the OGs. They could hang with the mid-table teams. But when it goes elevated to G2, almost hang. They can almost hang. I think Space Station has turned on their jets way too late. I feel like, because remember, we're talking about an SSG who's like, who lost to G2 already. So this was okay. I lost to G2. Okay, I go on to the next qualifier, and hold on, let me check that. Let me check. What was Swiss looking like today? This time, what was Swiss looking like? They went 3-0. Okay, they're like, I can hang around the NRGs, TSM, Luminosities. Okay, I can hang with these mid to bottom table teams. Okay, we go on to the playoffs. I can hang with Dignitas, who are on a roll right now, and I stopped their roll. Not qualifying, not even Swiss last qualifier. Now qualifying to playoffs this quarter. Okay, I stopped the rising Dignitas. I can hang with the OGs mid-table, but I still can't hang with the top dogs, with the Gen Gs and the G2 Strides. But they're this close, and we saw it this series. going on to game 7, leading them twice, 3 times. They led them 1-0, then they led them 2-1, then they led them 3-2. But then G2 showed their seniority once again, beating them out in game 6, and they went to game 7 3-1 convincingly. And again, Atomic took that role and dominated this series. I really like what I saw from G2. This kind of just shows that it's kind of reinforcing that this is this one team region or 2-team region. That's why I wanted SSG to win, to get those like allegations out, but they're still there. This is a 1-team seed. This is a 1 or 2-team region, which EU has been constantly. EU is like a 4-team region. But what I will say is that teams like SSG could be EU teams. I'm not talking about the Gentlemates, and the K Corps. I'm talking about the Vitalities and the BDSs. SSG can beat BDS or Vitality. I'm calling it there. If SSG come out hot and SSG come out like they came out this qualifiers, I think SSG could beat the Vitalities and the BDSs. Yeah, it was a really good series overall. Atomic had a really good series. LJ Hoxer had a good series. Yeah, I got nothing more to say. This was our Qualifier 5 review. I didn't have enough time to take out notes, so some of the stuff I said might have been fugazi, but I tried my best. I tried to get my opinion on that. And again, if you guys agree with my opinion, it's cool. If you guys don't, let me know what your opinion is. Let me know if you got something wrong so I could learn and make this better, because this is something that I want to do, and I've been working on it for a good amount of time. So if there's something wrong, I want to know, and I want to fix it for you guys, because obviously this is all my opinion. This is all what I think and from what I saw in the series that happened today, or on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now we line up for the London Major. If you guys enjoy, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you guys don't know who I am, what's up? My name's Slayer. I love playing Rocket League. I've been playing Rocket League since 2016, 2017, and up till now, and I'm still playing it. I have been streaming a lot more. If you guys didn't know, yeah, I streamed. It's all in the description. Names there and everything on Twitch. Hopefully try to stream every day in the morning. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys. See you guys in the next video. Peace out. Peace. Oh yeah, I want to mention before I leave, why is there 2 majors in Europe? Why is there 2 majors in Europe? Why? Why are we getting 2 majors in Europe? This is EU bias. We're getting one in Copenhagen and one in London. Whereas unless Worlds is going to be in the United States, I don't know why there's 2 majors in London. I mean in Europe. Bias, rigged, rich for money. I just want to go to a major. Yeah, peace.